What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video. And Liverpool have officially announced a new signing. Bobby Clark has completed his move from Newcastle United, and this is another hugely talented player like Kyle Gordon, like Harvey Elliott. He could be a future Liverpool great, even a Liverpool legend, and you might not get too excited about this guy, but he was one of the most highly rated young players in English football. And especially at the Newcastle United Academy, he was basically their best player in their academy. And I want to say a huge thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring my channel for this month. OneFootball is the home of football, my favorite app. I've been using it for years. You can find all kinds of football news on there, and also you can find the stats, the latest transfer news. I have been going there almost every day, checking the Liverpool transfer news, because they combine the best and most interesting transfer news and football news. And you can find also interesting videos, stats, analysis, fantasy football tips, and all kinds of interesting football related content on the OneFootball apps, and it's completely free. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to download OneFootball using the link in the video's description, and you support the channel as well that way. It's another young English talent added to the youth setup, and Liverpool are looking to adapt in the face of restrictive Brexit rules, because Liverpool, because of Brexit, can't sign any players who are younger than 18 years old from abroad, so who are not in the United Kingdom. Liverpool cannot sign them because of Brexit, and it's not a signing, of course, who would excite a normal Liverpool fan, but Jurgen Klopp has said it many times that we are building for the future, not just the present, and signing players like Kyle Gordon or Musialowski, Cannonier, and Harvey Elliott, these are the future of Liverpool FC. And even if just 2 or 3 of them turn into world-class players, Harvey Elliott is well on his way. But look at Ronaldo, look at other young players like Kyle Gordon. In pre-season I was super impressed with him, and Bobby Clark could be the next in line, the next great young talent who could save Liverpool tens of millions, and maybe even, if you add it up, hundreds of pounds in the future. And given Liverpool's financial constraints in comparison to Chelsea, Man City, Man United, it's very important to sign these young players so Liverpool can save a lot of money by developing their world-class players in-house from within. Liverpool has always been a club who made superstars and not necessarily always bought them. Yes, we signed some expensive players, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson, Fabinho. They were big stars when we signed them, but look at other players like Trent Alexander-Arnold. We made him a superstar, we made him world class, and he cost Liverpool essentially almost nothing in terms of transfer fees because he's a youth academy player. And Bobby Clark is of a similar profile to Kyle Gordon in terms of how highly he's regarded within youth football, and he has been previously linked with Manchester City, Manchester United, and Bayern Munich. So that shows what a talented player he is, even though he hasn't featured for the Newcastle senior team, but you have to take it into account. He's just a kid, he's just 16 years old. And Liverpool have shown a fine-tuned approach to snapping up high-level, hugely talented youngsters, both domestically and abroad, who are ready for the under-18 side and perhaps even beyond. And of course, it was also significant that Liverpool fans celebrated that Musialowski signed his first professional contract with Liverpool after the 17-year-old winger had 15 goal involvements in just 25 games for the Liverpool under-18 side. And many were concerned that maybe Musialowski would go to another club, but it's clear that these young players see a direct route to the first team, something that is not really available at Chelsea or Manchester City or even at other clubs. If you are good enough as a young player, you will get chances from Jurgen Klopp, and that has been a very clear and a very blatant strategy by Liverpool to use young players when there is a chance. Of course, many Liverpool fans wanted a new midfielder this summer, But I think this is part of the strategy that Liverpool didn't necessarily sign a replacement for Wijnaldum. Instead, we are giving chances to Harvey Elliott, to Curtis Jones, and of course we have Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain and other players. So Liverpool want to be seen as a club who give young players regular playing time. I mean, Harvey Elliott is only 18 years old, and when all the young players see Harvey Elliott in the starting lineup, they think that they have a good chance. If they work hard and if they are talented enough, they will get chances at Liverpool. And I think that is a very, very good strategy by Liverpool in terms of bringing through young players, signing young players when they are still 17, 16, 18 years old is a lot cheaper, and developing them into world-class players, some of them, is a lot cheaper than signing them when they are already established Premier League proven players. And Jurgen Klopp held face-to-face talks with Newcastle United youngster Bobby Clark to lure him to Liverpool. Klopp has shown that he's prepared to give young players a chance, as we talked about before. Newcastle have now lost the services of Bobby Clark, who is an England youth international, and Newcastle will only pick up a nominal amount of compensation. His departure should be regarded as a big blow to Newcastle during what was supposed to be the start of a new era at Newcastle Academy, but the summer has got off to a tough start for Newcastle United's academy coach. He said, the coach said, under 23 Newcastle coach Chris Hogg, he said that Bobby Clark is one of the most talented young players in English football, and I'm really, really excited about this guy. And Jurgen Klopp has also talked about the last few days of the transfer window. He was asked by journalists, does he expect a busy 4 days for Liverpool? He said, not really, to be 100% honest, but you never know, that's how it is. The options didn't get worse for some teams, that's clear, but in the end, I said it a couple of times before, there are so many different reasons to win a football game and so many different ways to win a football game, and it's not all about bringing in new players and all this kind of stuff. Again, it's a little bit disappointing that I always have to mention that we brought in Ibrahima Konate, who was not a bargain or whatever. We paid good money for him. But yes, all these offensive attacking players that other clubs are signing, that's obviously something that they thought they need and they had the resources to do it. That's the situation. But we at Liverpool will not use that as any kind of excuse in any kind of game. We will just go for it with all that we have. We have other things we can build on. We are together for a while already, and against Chelsea we have the home fans, which must be an advantage, and these kind of things. Look, I have really no time to look at other clubs. Of course I see the news and all that stuff when they sign a player, but I don't think about other clubs all the time. I just think before a specific game when we play them, of course I think about how they will line up, but other than that, no, I don't pay too much attention to that. And I think Jurgen Klopp's thoughts on Liverpool's midfield options is very, very interesting. He said, of course, Gini Wijnaldum played an incredible number of games for us. He's a great player, top player. I've watched him now in Paris Saint-Germain once or twice in some games, and it's really like, oh, that's Gini. Even when we prepare the opponent like we do for Chelsea and have a look at our games against Chelsea, we always see Gini running around there. We still have to get used to that he's not here. It is not only on the pitch we miss him in the dressing room really, really as well. But the reflex is that we lose a midfielder and then don't bring anyone in, then it must be like, now we can count our midfielders. If there is an area on the pitch where we have all these different skill sets, dynamic, creativity, defensive orientated, offensive orientated, all these kind of things, there is no gap in our midfield. Again, we have players here with great skills. Last weekend doesn't mean Harvey is now the savior of our midfield problem, because we don't have one. But if Gini is still here, Harvey probably wouldn't have played this game. So now he played, and he played well, which is great. I knew before there was a good chance that he would play well, and he did. And we have others as well. Curtis Jones is 20 years old, he already played 20 games last year, and he can make, and he has to make, the next step this season. Naby Keita obviously didn't play a full season for us so far in his Liverpool career. Maybe how he expected it, or we expected it, but he had always really good games, big games which we won, where Naby Keita started. Now he has started this season twice. Would he have played if Gini Wijnaldum was still here? I don't know, obviously, but maybe not. Then we have have Thiago, who didn't start the games. We have Henderson, who played only one. And we have Oxlade Chamberlain with the dynamic you cannot buy in the moment if you wanted to buy a midfielder. And probably I forgot one, Fabinho, of course. So that's the situation. There is no need just to buy a midfielder because somebody is on the market. I cannot help the media, unfortunately, because obviously you are very interested, and I can sadly not help the supporters who want us to sign a player just to get somebody in and feel then for the moment. Now we did our business as well. Now we should be ready. However, if you are a fan and if you are really with us and really think about it, you will realize there is no real need. And if the one player who is really the one who could improve all the things we spoke about now, and he's available, then we would go for it, I promise, if we would see him. I think Liverpool need more an attacker than a midfielder. Jurgen Klopp pretty much perfectly described that we have a very good options across the midfield, and we have probably enough numbers in midfield. But what happens when Salah and Mane goes to the Africa Cup of Nations? We will have almost a month without them. Do we have to rely on Origi and Minamino to score enough goals for us? That could be tricky. That could be difficult. And Harvey Elliott is obviously the opposite of a late developer. He's a very, very early developer. He was ready to play adult football already at 16 years old for Fulham, and Fulham was even not in a situation where they thought, okay, let's bring in the kids. It was just because Scott Parker probably at the time saw him training and thought, yeah, he could help. And now he's 18, and I thought last week, oh yeah, he will help in that game. And that's why we took the decision to start him. And he is a great player, and thank God he is. All the youth coaches he had, all the coaches he had so far, they had a hand in Harvey Elliott's development. And last year, I think in the championship, everybody who worked there with him did an exceptional job, because he made a big step last year. I was not sure about that before, when he was 17 years old and having to play in the championship, probably the hardest second division in the world, and then he made such a big step, played the amount of games he played, and that showed that he is not only a football talent, but he seems to be a physical talent as well, and he's robust enough for all the challenges out there. And I think that's absolutely brilliant from Jurgen Klopp, that he saw how much Harvey Elliott developed, not just in football terms, but also physically as well. And Jurgen Klopp also previewed the Liverpool-Chelsea game. He said, I expect a very difficult game for both teams. I don't think there is an easy way through any line. Both teams are really well organized and will be, I'm pretty sure. So it will be a big fight, definitely. It's one of these games that I would watch 100% if I would not be involved. It's pretty much a must-watch game if you want. The Chelsea have obviously a really good moment. They won the Champions League in the last club game of last season, played an incredible, last half of the season since Thomas Tuchel came in. They have really developed in the right direction. They brought now Romelu Lukaku in, which doesn't make them worse, obviously. So it's a tough opponent, but we are not actually in the worst moment ourselves as well. And hopefully we can show that. What Thomas Tuchel did at Chelsea is absolutely exceptional, Jurgen Klopp continued. I have to say I was never in doubt about that, because that he would have a massive impact there. That it would go that quick, I think not even he would have expected that exactly. But he won last night the European Coach of the Year award, and absolutely deserved it. Nobody had a bigger impact last season than he had. Really deserved. I said it before, the combination of financial wealth and football knowledge is always a threat for all of us. That's how it is. So what they are doing is really good, no doubt about that. Tuchel is an exceptional manager and coach, so all my respect. And I think probably Thomas Tuchel is right now in the top 5 best managers in the world, or certainly best managers in European football. So it will be a proper challenge for Liverpool to overcome Chelsea and of course other teams in the Premier League title race. And also a pundit tips Liverpool to make 1 or 2 signings in the remaining few days in the transfer window. Paul Robinson said, a bigger concern is Wijnaldum leaving. He has left a huge hole at Liverpool. For me, they have to use the money from the outgoings to fill the hole Wijnaldum has left. Henderson is going to be asked a lot of this season. We know the finances are tight at Liverpool. We know that they won't splash a load of cash in the market, but I still expect them to be busy with maybe 1 or 2 signings coming in. If we make a signing, we will make an attacking signing, a forward player, because we sold Shaqiri, so we lost 1 attacking player. We have 1 room in the squad for an incoming transfer who is older than 21 years old and who is a foreign player. And I think Liverpool should make a signing if there is the right kind of player similar to Jota, who would be okay with sitting on the bench sometimes, but who could add 10 to 15 goals to Liverpool's goal tally this season. Somebody like Ismail Assar. But I think he would be a little bit too expensive. Watford, because the season is already on the way, they would probably want 40 million, and I'm not sure if Liverpool will do a business in the last 4 days, but you can never rule out that possibility, because Jurgen Klopp said that they are open to making transfer moves, and it also depends on other clubs. It looks like Man City have pulled out of signing Cristiano Ronaldo, which is a pretty amazing development, and now Man United are in talks to sign Ronaldo, and I might make a separate video on that situation. But if Ronaldo goes to Man United, I think it's better for Liverpool than if he goes to Man City, because I think Man City, what they are lacking is a proper number 9, a world-class striker. And right now Cristiano Ronaldo is probably one of the best strikers, still one of the best out-and-out finishers in the world, alongside Lewandowski and Lukaku and Harry Kane, and he would easily score 25 to 30 goals in the Premier League in that Man City side. At Man United, yes, Man United, they would be more of a threat for Liverpool, but I don't think Man United are as close to winning the title as Man City are, in terms of if Man City would probably get 95 to 100 points with Ronaldo. I'm not convinced that Man United would get 90 points even with Ronaldo in the team, because of their manager basically. So I think it's better for Liverpool that if Ronaldo goes to Man United than Man City, because it would be probably almost impossible to overtake Man City if Ronaldo goes there. That's the one big hole in Man City's squad, an out-and-out striker who can really finish their chances clinically, and that's what Ronaldo is the best at right now. So of course I don't want Man United to get stronger or better, but I'm just giving my honest opinion on that. If I had to choose Ronaldo to go to Man United or Man City, I would choose Man United, because I think Man City would be just pretty much unbeatable with Ronaldo in their side, and I don't want that to see. Man United would be of course better with Ronaldo, obviously much better, but not uncatchable for Liverpool. That's my opinion, but let me know what you think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later guys. Good day.